Hey Kramer's Liam here. Just want to send you a video of what we did, what me and Claire did on Saturday, and again, she did wonderful. She did it really good. She made some good progress. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some before and afters with one quick exception here at the beginning. On the left here is Claire's before swing, and if you look at her setup, it is really, really good. I prefer her setup where she's a little bit more tilted or a little bit more leaning. I always tell Claire to get her lean on. But if you look at here and you look over on the right and you see Sophie Gustafson, she's set up almost exactly the same as Claire. It doesn't look like Sophie's leaning at all. And I don't, like I told Claire, I want her to set up with a lean, but the reason isn't so much of what I see in the setup is so much as it is to where she gets in the top of the backswing when she does it. So this is Claire's before swing, decent looking swing. What I did is draw a line down from her shoulder and just kind of observing where that line goes to. Because I think right now her spine is too up and down. Okay? And I look at Sophie Gustafson over here on the right, and I notice that shoulder of hers gets well beyond her the middle, more over her right knee, more behind it. And if you look at her spine, which I drew a line on, it is really leaning back more. To me, that's the important position, and that's why I have Claire get leaning back. So now we'll look at Claire's before and after. So this is, I'm going to erase some of these lines here. Again, the one on the left and the one on the right. The one on the left is Claire's before, the one on the right is Claire's after, and I have her leaning a little bit more than the one after. And I want you to look at these videos. We're going to show you from the back angle too, and we'll keep the before on the left and the after on the right, and look at them in their entirety, and understand how the setup position from this angle affects the path of the club. So again, as she swings back here on the left, to me, she doesn't get back far enough when she sets up in what I would consider a good address position. But I don't see enough her far enough behind it. I don't see her shoulder far enough behind it. And we're going to make an interesting observation here on the way down. So I like this setup a little bit better. It's a small lean. But I think what it really helps her to do is get to a much better backswing position. So now she gets herself way off the golf ball. Okay, so her shoulder is much more behind the golf ball into a much better position. Probably very slightly too far actually, but much closer to what I'm looking for. So what I want you to observe though is because of that position, when she swings it down, I want you to note her club coming down. So you can see it's already it's just entering the frame here, but notice her driver and how low to the ground it already is. Okay, notice how low, even before her it gets to her right foot, it's scraping the ground. So she hits this driver, she's going to hit it slightly on the upswing, which is really where you want to hit driver. That gives you the maximum possible distance, gives you more time to square the face, and just, you know, it's more like hitting a hammer hitting a nail. She's hitting it directly on. Because she leans a little bit to the left here, it doesn't get far enough behind it. If you notice, if she swings her club down, the club head is higher off the ground. I'll rewind this video here an inch or two. So even these are slightly different frames. The club on the right is further behind her. It's already lower to the ground. You know, lower to the ground. So when she hits this ball on the left, the before swing, she's going to hit slightly down on it. So she's not getting maximum energy into the ball. She's spinning it a little bit. Okay, so she's hitting downward slightly. Notice how low the club is right there. So she hits down, the ball kind of grazes up. So she's not getting maximum distance. Both swings look great. Swing on the right looks better and more powerful. Both look absolutely awesome. So now we're going to show you the down the line angles and just understand how getting behind the ball affects the look of the swing from this angle. And I apologize, the one on the left here, the before swing, I didn't get the entire swing, but I got enough to illustrate what I'm looking to illustrate on here. So the one on the left, and we worked as well as not only getting behind it, we worked on her. She has a tendency to kind of lift the club sometimes, get a little bit too upright. So she swings this one back, and I missed the entire swing, but notice she'll get a little bit more vertical here, so her hands and arms are lifting up. But really from right here, it's almost like her upper body will start, her head and shoulders will start to lean away from me a little bit. Okay, but that's her position right there. This is on the right, the after swing. You can see that her club is also a little flatter here. The club stays on that line for longer. It doesn't get as upright. Her arms are a little bit more around her hands, a little bit more to her side there. A little longer as well, but that's all right. Okay, but what I want you to watch here is watch the club drop down. So the before swing, because she's leaning left as she swings down, notice the club comes down fairly healthily above that line there. Not a bad looking swing, not necessarily that much outside to in, but just slightly. And I missed the entire swing here, so the rest of it I missed. But as this club's come down again, it's going to hit downward and it's going to move to the left after she makes contact, so it's a little bit out to in. This swing, if you notice, as she swings down, watch the club drop down behind her. So the club comes in at a much, much lower angle right there. It's already on the red line. Actually gets it slightly under. But you can see as she hits this ball, it comes from the inside, and she squares it up right in the center in the face. Squares it up right in the center. So there's not going to be much issue with the after swing of her slicing. She may push him to the right a little bit, a good solid shot, or she may draw him back to the center line. But she hits it much more solid and much more straight when she does that. The swing that we see over here on the left, since she's sitting down on it, she's coming from slightly outside, dragging the club across. She hits these big slices, so the ball tends to start really working to the right. So that's the change we made. We got to give her a little bit of a lean and setup so that she gets behind the ball, so that her club comes in sweeping and it comes in more from the inside. We also get her a little bit flatter on the way back, not lifting up so much. Quick story, real quick, as I was just kind of watching these videos before I did it. Mark was behind me, and he asked me, he goes, "Who the heck was that? That's a great looking swing." And so again, anyone looks at these swings, they know there's a ton of potential there. And so great looking swings. Even when she makes a bad swing, it's a great looking swing. The after swing is just a little bit better. All right, Kramers, I think Claire will see her out here tomorrow. Thank you.